let's just get right. Oh. She was speaking to me. Hi guys, welcome back to my cat calendar series, a series in which I am making one illustration every month to represent the month until I have a full calendar. Welcome to August. This is episode 8, and this month was a little bit different. I had you guys vote over on my Instagram, and by the way, if you are not following my Instagram, you should go do that. Here is the handle. That's where I post all of my cat illustrations and more. So if you're interested in seeing what other art I make, go follow. It just makes sense. Anyway, we had a poll over there on my story about what you guys think this month's like inspiration / theme should be. And the results are in. We are doing meteor shower theme. So I picked this theme because I saw somewhere that there are like special meteor showers that happen only in August. I don't know, maybe I'll put up what I was reading about here. Wow. And it inspired me because I love stargazing. That is also like a huge thing that I love to go and do when I can during the summer. I don't know, I was feeling inspired by that, so I'm really happy that you guys also loved that idea. So no more chatting, let's get right into it, okay? Okay, so here is what I'm thinking so far. I really want to do like a ton of like shooting stars, really like magical feeling, and just like fill the entire background of the illustration with like as many stars and colors as possible. If you take a look at my Millinotes, you can see here some of my inspirations. I really want like blues, purples, pinks, maybe like some yellows in there, but like trying to emphasize the space and galaxy colors that people associate with like stars and stuff like that. So I'm trying to keep it in that color range. And then recently in my sketchbook, I made something that I really liked and I kind of want to like continue to explore. That is this spread right here. I don't think that I have ever done something like this before, especially not for our calendars. I have been doing all full body cats, and I thought it would be really cool to have like this super close-up detailed like headshot of a cat, and then behind it is like an explosion of stars and I don't know, space, and just like really cool design. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I'm really bad at explaining my ideas, but I feel like you guys will see the vision come together as I start to do some thumbnailing. So let's do that now because I've got so many ideas just ready to go. All right, so here is what we've got going on. First, we've got this one, which is just very much like the sketch that I did in my sketchbook, where it's just the face, smiley kitty, and then I imagine like a, you know, rainbow of colors behind it, and like shooting stars flying by, meteors crashing through. And I have this one, which has this, I like to sometimes include in my illustrations like the moon cycles, and I thought that that could be kind of cool to add into this. And then I did a little bit more of a close-up, but honestly I'm not really liking the like distance of this one. I think that I like this close-up better, but I wanted to just like try something, so I made it so you couldn't see the mouth. So it was a little bit more mysterious. And then this one is way more neck. And then I thought it might be interesting to have more of like a nighttime like foresty scene behind it, just to like see what I thought of that. And I think that I might honestly try and merge these two together because I really like this one, but I like the idea of the moon cycles. I just don't know if I want them so like, I don't know if I want them to be like the focus like this, but that could also be cool to have like the moon right above the head. That could be like interesting composition. So I think I'm gonna mess around a little bit more with those two and see what we think. While trying to combine these two ideas, I want to make sure that I get the cat down really nice and sharply. I love the angles that I can make with the ears and the head. I just feel like it's almost like the shape of a house. It's very satisfying to replicate. As you can see there, I started off and I didn't like what I was doing. I think its head was just way too long, so I'm starting over, making sure that the ears are nice and pointy and the sides of the head are nice and straight, and I like this a lot better. I feel like this is going to give way for us to make the background really neat and just like full of stars and exploding galaxies. I don't know. So here I am just filling it in with all of these ideas. I think I do like the moon cycles being up there. I'm going to make them a little bit more centered. Don't worry. I know that they're kind of skewed, but I'm going to try and get that like nice and centered and crisp. And then I'm just going in and having like fun. And I might even look up some like actual constellations to add in because I think that would just be really, really cute.
A few moments later.
Well, I guess I wasn't recording that. All right. Just a little bit of a bump in the road, but that's fine. We push through. So I am just filling in everything here in the background, following my sketch as closely as I can because I really like what I did and I want to make sure I get all of those details in. And then here I am putting in the constellation for Leo and the constellation for Virgo, since those are the two star signs that happen to be in August. Now that we have the sketch done, let's get into some color comps and see how we want to color this in. So for those who might be curious, I thought that this time around I would show you guys how I go about doing my color comps. First things first, we need a really good picture of the illustration, so I'm just using my iPad so that I can later import it into Procreate. From there, I just do some simple editing by cropping the picture and then making sure the brightness is up and so is the contrast to get those lines crisp. And then I import that image right into Procreate. Once I bring it into Procreate, I immediately change the layer from normal to overlay. And this really speeds up the process because then I don't have to worry about drawing over the lines that I've already made in my sketch. You can just see it once I put color underneath, that it just adheres to whatever color is laid on top of it. And then basically from there, I'm just filling in what I imagine I could do on paper. I'm really loose because I'm not creating an illustration in Procreate, so I don't want to spend too much time being too perfect about it. I'm just trying to get in the basic shapes and colors that will give me an idea later of what I want to do. And then you just do it 3 more times before ultimately having to pick just one. And after digging deep inside my melon heart, I decided to go with this orangey yellowy kitty here. All right. Not too sure where to start, so we're just gonna jump right in. I was definitely feeling a little bit intimidated with this one. I think that there was just a lot going on. But you know what? I had to start somewhere, so I decided to start with the easiest part and my most favorite, which is always the cat's face. And lucky me, this time around, I get to do a huge version of my favorite part. I think that's why I've been so excited about this one, is just I love putting in all of that detail into the cat's expression, into the colors, into the stripes, into just like all the things that make the face super crisp and clean and I don't know, just bring it to life. So I wanted to start there because I definitely was feeling intimidated by the background that I chose to do for this month's illustration. So we're just working on getting the colors nice and saturated on the paper. I'm using colored pencil and I'm liking the way that this cat is looking. I don't know if I've done this shade of yellow for a cat yet in my calendars, but I love the contrast between the yellow, the really light yellow, and then this nice dark blue for the eyes. I felt like that really made the cat pop. Have I ever told the story about where I came up with the way that I draw these cats? No? Okay, well, I'm going to tell it to you guys now. So I can't remember a time that I ever really drew animals all that much. I would say that this is kind of a recent development for me, and I even at some point thought that I was bad at drawing cats. So it's kind of funny that now this is kind of my favorite thing to do right now. And I think that that is all thanks to a very special cat in my life. The cat that I'm referring to is my stuffed animal, who I have had since high school. He is very dear to me. I take him everywhere I go. I sleep with him every night, and I even have him tattooed on my body. If for some reason I one day no longer have him, he will always be with me, on me forever. And like, that's how much I think like this stuffed animal means to me. I guess I got him in a really pivotal time in my life, and maybe that's why he's so special. Also, he's like the perfect size to hold at night, and he's very soft and comforting. And so a while back, I just kind of started drawing him because he has actually the most perfect face ever, and it makes me laugh whenever I draw it. And it kind of started out as me like actually just drawing my stuffed animal. I would like draw myself, and then I would draw Cat, which is his name, with me. Like if I was going on a trip and I wanted to draw my outfit, that I would draw me holding him. And then I would add him like in the little corners of my book, like my sketchbook. And then I just it kind of transformed into just drawing him. Now, but I will say that not every cat that I draw is Cat, the stuffed animal, quote unquote. And you will always be able to tell if it's Cat by the markings on his face. And I just think it's really funny because this cat here is a very like cat-coded cat, if that makes sense. But he's golden, and it makes me think of how I even got my stuffed animal in the first place, which is why I wanted to tell this story. So back when I was like 15 or 16, I attended a camp, and in this camp we had different like groups that we were in. And those groups had their own tables, and we had different themes for each table. And on my table, we had a stuffed animal cat who was our table's mascot. And this cat was identical to the one that I have now, except he was a goldish, yellowy orange color. And I remember at the end of the camp, it wasn't a huge thing about like who got to take him home, but it wasn't me, even though I really wanted him. Another kid got to take him home, which was fine, but I was like, I have to find out where they got this thing, and I need one for myself. And I was able to find the store, but when I got there, all they had left were the gray ones. And I was like, whatever, I love this thing, I just want one, so I'll get the gray one. And then ever since then, in my own head, there have been a distinction between the cat that I have and Golden Cat, which is what I call the one from the camp. And they're kind of like brothers in my head, but maybe long lost brothers, I don't know, because I don't know where that other one is now. Probably off in a landfill somewhere. No, probably at Goodwill. I have no idea where he went off to, but I just think it's kind of funny. So anytime I draw Cat with those markings that are his, but the cat is like orange or something, I'm always like, oh, that's Golden Cat. I don't know. It makes me laugh because I'm thinking of Golden Freddy from the FNAF games. I don't know. Such a silly story, but I thought I would share it. Well, look at me. I've just about yapped over this entire thing. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm doing right now. So filling in this background was definitely a thought process. I really had to analyze what it was that I wanted to do from my reference picture and figure out how I was going to make that happen in traditional art. Because digitally, it's so easy to lay a bunch of different colors down and then just like seamlessly blend them together. But with colored pencil and pastels and whatever else it is that I'm using, I really have to think about how those mediums interact with each other. And it's a lot of layering, it's a lot of choosing different colors that are close to each other, but slightly, towards the next hue that I'm trying to get to. It's a lot of thought. And I think that's the one thing I really appreciate about doing traditional art now after doing so much digital art while I was in college is that I really have to think and consider how each medium plays its role in the illustration. And speaking of mediums, we are now switching to some white acrylic paint to first really add some brightness to the highlights of the eyes. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to go in and put in all of those little star markings that indicate the two constellations that represent Virgo and Leo, and then I did a couple other random constellations just to blend them in all together. Guys, and with that, we are done with August's illustration. I am very happy with it. I think despite the stress that the background was giving me and my internal conflicts about how I was going to blend it all together, I think that it was really fun. And thanks for listening to me yap about this guy's backstory and how he plays a role in my art and everything that I do, even though it's a little silly, but you know, I think everyone deserves to have an emotional support stuffed animal. But yeah, I'm very happy with this, and thank you guys for voting on the theme. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I post lots of different content there, a lot of like sketchbook stuff, my cat illustrations get posted there, and as well as like fandom art that I post occasionally. So if you're interested in that, please follow my Instagram and also subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys next month for September.